Your family needs you, son.
The trailer for Dutton Ranch Episode 8 just detonated every slow-burning fuse this season has been laying since the very first frame, and the fallout is going to be genuinely stunning. Will Beulah Jackson survive long enough to watch her empire collapse around her? Will Joaquin's decision to hand Rob Will's murder weapon to Sheriff Wade destroy the very man he is trying to protect? Rip Wheeler, is Austin Lewis about to become the most dangerous person in Rio Paloma, not because of what he can do, but because of what he knows? Is Carter's drunken destruction at the anniversary party the mistake that finally gives the Jacksons the weapon they need to come after the Duttons? And is Mariano Reyes the force massing on the horizon that neither family is remotely prepared to face? Every single one of those questions has an answer, and this breakdown covers all of them. And for anyone watching who is not yet subscribed, this channel drops this level of breakdown every single week, so hitting that subscribe button and leaving a like takes 2 seconds and means never missing another one. The single most important moment in this trailer is the image of Beulah Jackson, eyes wide open, completely conscious, being wheeled on a stretcher through a hospital corridor at speed. There is something truly shocking about seeing the most powerful woman in Rio Paloma reduced to that position, lying flat while the empire she has spent her entire life building sits leaderless back on 10-Petal Ranch. The trailer makes it immediately clear that her collapse at the end of Episode 7 was not a minor episode. This is a full medical emergency. Rob Will, Oriana, Joaquin, and Dr. Everett McKinney are all there at the hospital, and when McKinney turns to Joaquin and says the words, "Your family needs you, son," the weight behind those words is unmistakable. That is not a doctor giving clinical advice. That is a plea for a son who has spent years being shoved aside by his own mother to set down every wound he has ever been given and stand with the woman who gave those wounds freely. What makes this moment so painful for fans is the impossible position it puts Joaquin in. Beulah chose Rob Will. She announced it in front of everyone, and now she is lying in a hospital bed. And the son she rejected is the only one being asked to rise above it. There is real hope in that trailer moment, the possibility that this crisis forces the Jackson family towards something resembling unity. However, the situation is far more complicated than it appears on the surface, because Joaquin has not arrived at that hospital empty-handed. The most likely explanation for what fans just watched unfold in the trailer is that Joaquin has made a decision that cannot be taken back, and the consequences for Rip Wheeler are enormous. The evidence is right there in the trailer. 18 seconds in, Joaquin stands inside Sheriff Wade's office and places a firearm on the desk. That gun is the weapon Rob Will used to murder Wes Ayers at the very start of this season. Fans watching closely have understood since Episode 1 that this weapon was a ticking clock. Rob Will shot Wes, and Rip, who buried that body on Dutton Ranch land, later took the gun from Rob Will during their gas station confrontation and handed it to Chet Davis for disposal. Chet, instead of destroying it, passed it to Joaquin in a plastic bag. And now, Joaquin has walked it straight into a police station. The problem that every fan who has been following this carefully already sees is this: that gun carries 3 sets of fingerprints. Rob Will's, as the shooter, Rip's, from when he disarmed him, and Chet's, from handling it afterward. The moment Sheriff Wade sends that weapon to forensics, Rip Wheeler becomes a suspect in a murder investigation. And if that seems like it could be resolved easily, fans need to understand something crucial about Rip's situation. He is a man with no official identity. He grew up on Yellowstone property without state recognition, which means his fingerprints are not in any law enforcement database. A forensic report showing an unidentified second set of prints could, in the worst possible outcome, give Rob Will's defense team exactly the shadow of doubt they need. Joaquin may believe he is delivering justice. What the evidence strongly suggests is that he may have accidentally handed Rob Will a lifeline while simultaneously lighting a fire under the Dutton family. But that development raises an even more dangerous question about what Austin Lewis is doing in that trailer, sitting in a room with Rip, Beth, and Zach, openly calling the Jacksons thieves. The evidence points to Austin having reached a breaking point that has been building since Wes Ayers disappeared. Fans believe that Austin's decision to take his suspicions directly to the Duttons is not random. It connects to what Carter did at the anniversary celebration. Carter, heartbroken and drunk, destroyed the Longhorn heirloom that sits at the center of the Jackson family's entire founding myth. The most logical conclusion is that Rip and Beth already know that destruction is going to have consequences, and they are scrambling to arm themselves with every secret about the Jacksons that they can find before the retaliation comes. Austin, for his own reasons tied to finding out the truth about Wes, has chosen this exact moment to confirm what the Duttons already suspected, that 10 Petal Ranch is built on something far darker than legitimate ranching. 9 ranches have shut down in Rio Paloma in 1 year alone. The FMD virus that destroyed Rip and Beth's entire herd came through a bull connected to Beulah's auction. Mariano Reyes has been operating in the shadows of this story since episode 1, moving what everyone suspects is not cattle. And if this theory proves correct, that the Jacksons have been systematically eliminating competition through sabotage and worse, then Austin is not just a whistleblower. He is a man who has just made himself the most dangerous liability in the entire county, and the most dangerous target. The trailer then raises a consequence chain that fans need to pay close attention to. What happens if both ranches are simultaneously preparing for a siege? The bulk of that 30-second trailer is not the hospital. It is not the sheriff's office. It is both bunkhouses, the Dutton side and the Jackson side, visibly preparing for something to arrive. The evidence suggests that what is coming is connected to Mariano Reyes. Fans who remember episode 3 will recall Mariano discussing moving a significant amount of cattle that month in a way that made every viewer understand he was not talking about cattle at all. The trailer makes it clear that episode 8, titled Whiskey Limits, is the moment this shadow threat steps out of the background. However, unfortunately, neither the Duttons nor the Jacksons are dealing with this from a position of strength. Beulah is in surgery. Rob Will is about to face a murder investigation. Rip's fingerprints are on a weapon in a police station. And Carter is walking around carrying whatever secret he has not yet told Rip. Because that stable scene, where Carter and Rip stand facing each other in total silence, is not a conversation between a father and son about a hangover. Something heavier is on the table, and fans believe it connects to Dwight and to everything Carter witnessed at that party. However, unfortunately, the timing could not be worse for any of these problems to collide at once. While the main conflict dominates the trailer, there is another storyline quietly unfolding in the background that every fan needs to pay close attention to, and it belongs to Carter. The scene between Carter and Rip in the stable is only a few seconds long, but the weight in it is unmistakable. Finn Little plays Carter with the kind of contained damage that makes every quiet scene feel loaded. And what the trailer suggests is that Carter's rampage at the party, destroying the Jacksons' founding Longhorn, has set something in motion that is going to pull the entire Dutton family into danger they did not choose. Beth's words to Carter in the trailer are not comforting. When she tells him, "I need you ready for the hard parts when they come, because they're coming," that is not a reassurance. That is a warning from someone who has spent her entire life reading threats before they fully form. The tragedy of Carter's situation is that he acted out of emotional pain, caught between his feelings for Oriana and the weight of watching her family get handed everything while the Duttons fight for survival. And in doing so, he may have handed the Jacksons a legitimate grievance to use against the people protecting him. Fans who have watched Carter grow across both Yellowstone and Dutton Ranch will feel this moment with particular sharpness, because it marks the first time his choices have endangered not just himself, but Rip and Beth directly. His arc in Episode 8 may be the emotional center that holds every other thread together. What makes this development even more significant is its direct connection to what fans have already witnessed in Marshals. In that show, Case Dutton is building a life defined by consequence. Every choice in the Yellowstone universe ripples outward in ways no single character can fully anticipate. Dutton Ranch is running the same structural logic. Rip buried Wes's body on Dutton land in Episode 1 because he understood, having grown up in John Dutton's world, that involving law enforcement in anything is a risk that almost always costs more than it resolves. That decision, consistent with every choice Rip has made across 5 seasons of Yellowstone, is now the exact decision that may bring everything down. The Yellowstone universe has always been about the cost of protecting what you love through methods that can never be acknowledged in daylight, and Episode 8 of Dutton Ranch is the moment that cost comes due. After everything this trailer has revealed, after all the theories and the forensic nightmares, and the siege preparation, and the hospital hallways, the one question that every single fan is now focused on is the simplest and most important of all: when does this actually air? Episode 8 of Dutton Ranch, titled Whiskey Limits, drops on Paramount Plus on Friday, June 26, arriving at midnight Pacific Time, which means viewers on the East Coast can watch at 3 a.m. Eastern or find it waiting when they wake up on Friday morning. With only 9 episodes in Season 1, this is the penultimate chapter, and everything it puts in motion feeds directly into the finale on Friday, July 3. Paramount Plus has already confirmed Season 2 is in development. Based on everything the production timeline has confirmed so far, the wait is going to be significantly shorter than most fans are expecting, and based on what this trailer has shown, that wait is going to feel very long indeed. Now the conversation moves to the fans. Will Joaquin's decision to hand the gun to Sheriff Wade ultimately destroy Rob Will? Or has he accidentally handed his brother the one piece of evidence that sets him free? And is Carter's secret in that stable scene connected to Dwight? Or is it something that happened at the party that nobody witnessed except Carter himself? The video on screen covers everything else fans need to know before the next episode drops.